I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go with this, ladies and gentlemen, but the news that you're seeing, the news that you're hearing is true. Jurgen Klopp is apparently leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. To say this is a surprise to a lot of us is an understatement. I don't know where to go with this, how to start with this, but it's not the news I was expecting to wake up to today. So let's get into it. How are you feeling? What do we think is happening? Is there more to this than meets the eye? There is a lot of questions and I guess a lot of answers that need to be found over the next few hours. I don't know where to start. But let's start with the words from the man himself. It is confirmed, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, that Jurgen Klopp will depart as Liverpool manager at the end of the season. We're going to just bring you everything as it comes in, because this is an evolving, moving, live subject. If you could see my phone right now, you would think, somebody probably passed away in my life with the amount of messages. And let's start off with some quotes from Jurgen. He said, "If you ask me, will you ever work as a manager again? I would say now, no. But I know obviously that now it'll feel different because I've never had this situation. What I know definitely, I will never ever manage in a different club in England than Liverpool Football Club. I feel numb," said Nessie. "But why all of a sudden? Mysterious. There is a lot of questions, Nessie, and not a lot of answers at this moment in time. Even though our chat is on slow, you can see it start to move quickly already. People's thoughts are going through their minds. People trying to figure out what on earth is happening. As Nessie said, why now? Is something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? To think that Jurgen Klopp will never manage Liverpool Football Club in a Champions League again. To think that Jurgen Klopp's final game in charge of Liverpool could be in Dublin in the Europa League. To think that Jurgen Klopp may never oversee another transfer window. I can't help but feel there's something more to this than meets the eye. And I guess it's time to start to try and find out what that is, because it seems too quick. It seems too sudden for it to have been not, in my opinion, stink. Is it about Mohamed Salah's situation? Is something being forced on Jurgen that he isn't happy with? Is he genuinely exhausted? Is this just more than the man can put up with for another few years? Is his health getting to him? Is his mental energy depleted? I don't know. But I know that this is certainly a surprise. And I can't believe it. Same as you guys can't believe it. And it's just a moving subject. They're coming in from Jurgen Klopp. They're coming in from Jamie Carragher. They're coming in from all Liverpool legends around the world. They're coming in from Liverpool fans around the world. It feels like this morning is almost, I don't know. It's almost awake to some extent with all that we've known over the last few years as Liverpool manager. I'm truly struggling to get my head around this at the minute. He informed the club in November. He said a meeting discussed next season signings, pre-season, etc. sparked him to think he didn't have the energy to continue. I don't know. I've got to say, everyone, this... Why today? Why now? It doesn't... A lot of this doesn't make sense to me. And look, it is an evolving subject and it is something we're going to have to find out. But yeah, I truly just don't know what to make of this at the minute, other than to feel sad and to feel nervous, of course, and to feel a little bit frightened, because uncertainty is fearful. And over the last 7, 8, 9 years, we've had certainty. We've had at least Klopp till 2026 in a lot of our minds. And when he signed that contract to 2026 and he said that he felt energised, and I wonder what's changed. I mean, I want to get some of your thoughts on this, so do let me know in the comment section. This isn't a warning. This isn't one of those, is this ha-ha, funny? No, this is serious. This is sincere. Jurgen Klopp has announced his departure from Liverpool Football Club at the end of the season. And the question that's going to be on all of our minds immediately is why? Why now? Why are we only finding out about it? What's next? Who's in the frame? And it's not just Jurgen that's leaving at the end of the season. Jurgen's leaving, Linders is leaving, Kravitz is leaving, the backroom staff. It's genuinely... It feels like it feels like a death in the family to me at this point. Initially, as I'm still gathering my thoughts, I'm trying to put this picture together. Genuinely just began to cry a little bit. This man's been such a big part of our lives for 9 years now, said Tots Rocky. News conference at 3 o'clock, said David Newell. Well, look, obviously we're going to have a lot of questions, and we're going to bring you the answers to that news conference or press conference at 3 o'clock. I mean, you will have questions, you will have thoughts, and I'm here to read them out. I'm here to give you guys a platform, as always, to have your say. David Lowen said he's a United fan. I'm genuinely gutted for everyone at Liverpool. It's a sad day for football. What a blow, said Leslie Manuel. It is truly that, Leslie, as you've said. What a blow, I think, doesn't even start to cover what I'm feeling. And, you know, it was weird last night. My wife will tell you this, I was unable to sleep. I was tossing and turning. I was feeling like something was weird. And she came into me a few minutes ago and said, you better get up. Jurgen is leaving Liverpool. And I said, what? And she said, Ben rang me. Connor's message, your phone's lighting up. You better get up. Jurgen Klopp's leaving Liverpool. And I couldn't believe it. And still, when she said it to me, I was sitting on the edge of the bed going, what? Jurgen's leaving Liverpool? Really? I can't help but feel there's something more to this than meets the eye. You know, even if it was discussed back in November, why now? I really don't know, lads, what the hell is going on here. But I guess we're going to get some answers, and somebody will get to the bottom of this rather than just giving us the company line of Klopp's leaving and that's it. I know we're all sad about Klopp leaving, but this could be a new exciting era under a new manager. I'll be sad to see him go, but let's remember Liverpool will always go on. Finley Years Guitar, thank you for your super chat, mate. Yes, look, Liverpool will always go on, Finley, but a lot of us have only really known Klopp, you know, in a recent context as a Liverpool manager. You know, to think where we were when he came in, and to think certainly where we're going to be when he's leaving, it's night and day. As I'm sitting here now, I'm thinking back to Klopp's first day, and he came in, he talked about, you know, being here in 4 or 5 years and winning a title. And the one thing I've always held him to account what he said, and I guess we can all say he's lived up to, is he said when he came to Liverpool Football Club, he'll leave the club in a better place than when he arrived. He'll leave the club in a healthy spot, and he's done that. He's doing that. But still, why? You know, that's everyone's initial thought process here is why? Why now? What's going on? I have 3 theories, said Gabrielle. 1, he's out of energy. 2, he might be sick. 3, he had a final fallout and disagreement with FSG. Could explain why some of the staff leaving. But why now? Why halfway through the season? And that's what I can't figure out. What's to be gained now? I feel angry as I sit here. Not angry at Jurgen, of course. You would never feel that way. I've always said to you guys, it's a demanding job. And it would take it out of any manager. But still, you always hear me say the phrase, if it smells like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's likely a duck. And I still can't gather my thoughts as to why now. I mean, this is where I need you guys to give me how you're feeling, what you're thinking. This could derail our season and Mbappe hopes. Cody, look, with all due respect to any players, this to me is bigger than any player maybe coming in or not coming in. We've often talked about the importance of Jurgen at Liverpool, the importance of continuity of manager, the importance of continuity of thinking, the importance of being attractive in that next phase. But I mean, there has to be something that's happened for it to come out now, and I'm concerned. But I'm also sad, like the rest of you, of course. Right now, I cannot, for the life of me, gather my thoughts as to why on Friday, the 26th of January, midway through a season that has so much promise, that could deliver an incredible season, why this is coming out. It doesn't make sense because it's tactically it's wrong. It feels odd. I don't know. It's evolving. I need answers, but it's honestly shaking me to my core right now. I'm genuinely astounded at this news. Uh, Klopp will always be our fucking boss. Loud and proud. You'll never walk alone from Indiana. Liverpool boys and Klopp. Send Klopp off right. Screw the new stand. Put the statue up. Sorry, said Caleb. Whitehammer said, behind the scenes, Doc or Super League. Well, see, that doesn't tally with if he told the club back in November. So if he told the club back in November, I don't know, it doesn't tally to me that it will be because of a doc or something like that. It feels like there's more to this than meets the eye. What else have we got here? Absolutely gutted and heartbroken to Clinton Cummings. Just trying to figure out who will replace him. I mean, I haven't even got to that yet. That's how astonished I am. I haven't even got to think about who next. I feel like I haven't moved on to that stage of grieving yet with the who's next. I mean, right now, I don't know what the next version of Liverpool looks like, what the next incarnation of this, what the next evolution of this group, this team looks like. Like, we've often said, how many of FSG's shortcomings has Jurgen made up for? And for a lot of us, the answer would have been quite a bit. But right now, again, uncertainty. Uncertainty is not our friend at the minute. And do you know what? We'll talk about who next, but it doesn't really matter who next because they ain't Jurgen Klopp. When I said, and when a lot of people said that we have the best manager in the world, we have the best manager in the world. And I don't know. There's nobody else I'd rather be in charge. There's nobody else I could think could do a better job than Jurgen. So I don't know who the club are going to have ready, but it has to be a well thought out process. And I guess the long goodbye for us all in Jurgen is starting. Genuinely astonished. Faraz Khan said a part of me died today. Jose Mourinho next manager? Yeah, there's absolutely no chance. There's more chance of me being named Liverpool manager than Jose Mourinho being named Liverpool manager, mate. I think the pressure of competing for the title every year takes its energy, said Callum, yes. The pressure of competing against potentially a rigged deck is another thing. You know, I only spoke about this yesterday, but to look back at Klopp's time and potentially think, you know, what happened with City and what they've done basically with their own finances, it always felt like we're running uphill. And now, I don't know, man. I don't know what. Honestly, I feel like someone in the family's died. Nathan Allen, thank you for your super chat, Nathan. And look, do keep your thoughts coming in, everybody. I'm going to get through as many comments as I can. I'm still processing this in real time, but your thoughts are important because this is what this channel is about. It's about giving you guys a platform and giving you guys a voice. So I'm going to try and do that as long as I can today and keep going. Nathan Allen said, who will be our number one replacement? Try and go all out to get Alonso or De Zerbi. What impact do you think this will have during the end of the season? The players known there's only one chance of silverware walking out the door. Well, I mean, I'm almost thinking, if I'm being really honest with you, as my brain's ticking over here, I'm thinking there's no chance Salah renews at the moment. I can't, even that, I'm just trying to put these pieces together in my brain, and I feel like there's something more. But look, I am a bit of an overthinker in these moments, so maybe I am overthinking this a bit, but I just feel like there's more to this. I feel like my love of life just asked me for a divorce, said Yvonne Francis Leggett. Nick said, so sad. Being true to himself, he can't rally up the team knowing he's leaving at the end of the season. Imagine looking in the eye of every young player and keeping something like that a secret. Yeah, that's a good point, mate. You know, he is a man who wears his heart on his sleeve, and as you've said, there's only so many times you can go to the well in these situations, and we know how all-encompassing managing a Premier League club is at this level. But to everyone that is coming in, to everyone that is joining us, unfortunately, yes, the news that you're seeing is real. This isn't a drill. This isn't a warm-up. This isn't, the 1st of April. Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool Football Club. I talk about this so often, but I used to still pinch myself every day that we get to get up and look at Jurgen Klopp managing Liverpool. It's a sense of stability that I've not had in my life as a Liverpool fan. And since Jurgen came in, you think anything is possible. You look at the seasons we've had under him, close to a quadruple, in the hunt for another amazing season, European finals, Premier League title. Still a lot to play for this year, but the phrase "the long goodbye" is just going through my head. That's all I can think of right now. As a United fan, this game is a shock and no one expected it. It's a ghost hunter. As all of us, as football, this game is a shock. As a Liverpool fan, I promise you, I had no inkling, nothing, no whispers. If anybody knew this and held on to the news, fair play to you, because I don't know how you could have held on to it. I'm still gobsmacked as I sit here. Perhaps the players already knew, and that's why they've been playing so relentlessly or resiliently. Perhaps, yeah. Look, I guess these are things we're going to find out over the next few hours. And as we said, the club has scheduled a press conference. I'm getting news every couple of minutes here. Klopp will host a special press conference to discuss today's news with the media from 3 o'clock. So we've 3.5 hours, I guess, to continue to wonder before we get to hear from the man himself on this. I don't want to be the next Chelsea, said Sarah. I don't think we will be, in all honesty. I think we're going to look for continuity again, but who? Ryan Babel saying it's actually easy. It's Xabi Alonso. That's what Babel thinks. Babel thinks Alonso will be the man to take over. It's not even like, to think if it is him, it's not the type of news you can celebrate. Because whoever it is, be it Xabi Alonso or anybody else, it isn't Jurgen Klopp. And that's the most important thing to a lot of us. This will take a while to sink in, said Jason Son. Nathan Allen said, Do you think this will impact the summer transfer window for the players that would join us for Klopp, Mbappe and more? 100%, of course. I've often said that one of the advantages Liverpool have always had in any conversations with players in recent years is the continuity of manager. And, we were only talking in the last week or two, would Klopp extend? Would Klopp stay even past 2026? But I'm going back and flicking through my brain, and I'm sure that there have been conversations from Klopp and quotes from Klopp that said things about him never breaking a contract, or that when he makes a commitment he sees it through. Something about this just doesn't sit right. Why now? He signed a contract to 2026. Why now? I don't know. Something about it doesn't feel right to me, and I can't shake that feeling. Lots of people in the let's get a poll going, lads in the background, Ben or Connor, if we can, on next possible Liverpool manager. Xabi Alonso. Don't even put Steven Gerrard in this conversation, folks, because, he's not getting near the managerial job. Linders, it's not going to be him. We can hear that one pretty certainly, because Klopp and his team are leaving at the end of the season. Linders and Kravitz are going to be going as well, based on the news that's come out today. Callum Munty said, the worst thing is that he's one of the best managers in the world and there is nobody available as good as him. There just isn't anybody in the world for me that is Jurgen Klopp, that can do what Klopp has done, that can But then again, maybe I need to start looking at this through different eyes. Maybe I need to look at this from the mindset of who can carry on Jurgen's work and not who can come in and change anything. I don't know. Like, I see some names in the chat that just make me laugh. Zidane doesn't speak English, let alone come to manage Liverpool Football Club. Zidane is not Liverpool. He's not the type of manager to take Liverpool forward. It would be a stupid idea. Mourinho is obviously not a fit for Liverpool, and his type of football's gone. It has to be Alonso. I can't think of anybody else. It just has to be. I can't think. It has to be Alonso. I can't think of a single person who would even come close. De Zerbi, good, but he's not. Doesn't scream Liverpool to me. I don't know, lads. This is. I'm almost shaken. That's how nervy this is. I blame FSG. Well, let's not blame anybody, JG, until we know more. You know, at 3 o'clock we're going to get the words from the man himself. And until we know from that, it's all just speculation, but I'm sure more stuff is going to come out. So I'll be keeping an eye on the likes of The Athletic, obviously from James Pearce, David Ornstein, and we're going to bring you the news as and when it comes in. I'm devastated. Where do you go? How would Xavi Alonso's Liverpool look? I fear we go the way Manchester United after Sir Alex Ferguson. I mean, we're in a better place than United were when Ferguson left, albeit obviously he left with a league title. We have a far more refreshed squad. So whatever manager comes in, the bones of a very, very, very good squad is there to work with. But I'm just going to tell you my honest opinion right now, as I always do on the channel, and as I've always done from day one. Part of me just feels like there was a fallout over something. Whether it was the summer transfer business, whether it was the future of Mohamed Salah, I don't know. But I just feel like something's caused this, and it's not something. The idea that it was agreed and all back in November, it doesn't sit right with me. But I don't know what else to say. No Nagelsmann, God no. Zobo, no Nagelsmann. Definitely, I'm with you on that one. That would be completely wrong. What about Unai Emery or Thomas Tuchel? No, no to Thomas Tuchel. Not a chance. Emery's at a club, so I don't know. All I can think of is Alonso. That's the only one, Yeah. Unexpected, and he mentioned his health. Yeah, I mean, let's look at some more quotes in a minute from Jurgen. I think Klopp is burnt out. You can see last season took a lot out of him. I think he also knows Alonso is ready to come in, said Daniel Nelson. Thank you, Daniel. Nathan Allen said, if Alonso dethrones Munich, that's enough on his CV. That's good enough to do it since Klopp at Dortmund. He plays excellent football, is a mix of Pep and Klopp, so he's perfect. Yeah, look, Alonso have the gravitas to do it. Has the gravitas to attach or to attract players, has the gravitas to fill the position, but again, they're big shoes to walk into. More of your comments. Tiger Claw said, as a neutral, I really hope Klopp can win 4 trophies. Thank you, mate. Whitehammer said, Craig, no trend for VVD or Salah contracts. New TV series that Klopp's totally against. Klopp said that he's tired of fighting against the owners all the time. Did he? When did he say that? Again, I'm not trying to start an argument with Whitehammer, but I don't remember him saying he's tired of fighting against the owners all the time. I honestly don't remember him saying that. But with regard to the contracts, I think the contracts for Trent and VVD are going to be done anyway. I don't think that was going to be a problem. It certainly didn't come across like it was going to be a problem in the background. But look, as we said, it is an evolving situation, and it's just the part that, he told the club back in November. That's the part I'm still trying to really process and get my head around. Sorry, gotta keep getting coffee into me, or it won't be any use to any of you. Why is it that I feel particularly angry at this moment? Not a Klopp. I should point out that's not what I mean, but You know when they talk about grieving, you go through phases and you go through, begging and you go through, trying to fight all the I'm in anger right now. Not at Klopp, not at anybody, just at the situation. Benjamin Alford said, Craig, this was always on the cards. Look at Klopp's fakes. He looks broken. No money to challenge City. He's taken us as far as he can. I also think football is not sustainable to create a dynasty. There's a lot about the game that I think definitely is not the way Klopp likes it to have gone. The game in general. And I'm sure the whole situation with fighting on every front and trying to, as you said, match Manchester City, be more clever, be more astute in how we do. I'm sure it's ground them down to some extent. Absolutely, it is, as I've always said, an all-encompassing job. If you're managing a club like Liverpool or a club at the top of the Premier League, you can't do that sustainably forever. Like, managers age quickly when they come to the Premier League and they come to the pressure cooker that is the top four in the Premier League, particularly. Like, yeah, it's crazy. I feel you, Craig. I'm angry too. There's something that hasn't been told to us, said Andre Nielsen. A lot of kids on the pitch lately, said just a harmless potato. I mean, I don't think it's to do with transfers, because he was backed in the summer and there was a fairly good rebuild, and he spoke about being energised. And the age profile of the squad has been refreshed. Nobody's been forced out the door. I mean, look, initially my thoughts are this is probably going to spell the end of Salah at Liverpool. And like you guys, as you said, have questioned about the Van Dijk and Trent situations. I mean, I hope that there's nothing in the works there that we're about to hear about or anything. I hope this isn't the start of an exodus out the Anfield door. Whatever about his backroom staff, I mean, sometimes managers go, the team goes with them. That's completely normal. But until we hear from Jurgen, until we know exactly what's happening, I don't know what to think about this at the minute. Heartbreaking, said Joseph Green. Klopp's amazing. Nunes become a beast. He knows how to get the best out of him. Someone said that's the end of Mbappe to Liverpool. I mean, that's the last concern I have at the minute, mate, to be honest with you. To me, Klopp's more important than any player, any signing, any new contract. He is the mastermind. And only this season we've spoke recently about his tactical acumen in games and his ability to change it and shake things up. VVD and Salah next, I feel, said Liverlad. Nah, I don't think VVD's going anywhere. I think VVD's happy where he is. He's Liverpool Football Club captain. I don't expect to hear any negative news on that. On Salah, look, I say what I've always said. We don't know. We don't know what's going on here. I mean, there's also been the little fallout recently, I guess, with the Egyptian FA. If you can even call it a fallout, I think of it more as a misunderstanding or a miscommunication. Last season, the whole team looked tired, said Callum. Yes, because of, I guess, the exploits of the season before and how close they came to immortality, I guess. I think Alonso's the only way to go, said it's KDS. Really will miss Klopp. 9 years of passion, the greatest manager. All of this situation seems off to me. Hope Klopp is okay whenever he's going or wherever he's going on. Yeah, I want to hear from him that he's healthy, firstly. That's my first thought process here, is I want to make sure that the man's okay. Right, some more comments from Klopp. He said, it is that I'm running out of energy. I have no problem now, obviously. I'm absolutely fine now. But I know that I cannot do the job again and again and again. After all the years, after all the time we spent together, all the things we had together, the respect grew for you and the love grew for you. And the last thing I owe you is the truth, or the least I owe you is the truth. And that's the truth. That's one from Jurgen. Continues to say, for me it was super, super, super important that I can help to bring this team back onto the rails. It was all I was thinking about. When I realised pretty early that happened, it's a really good team with massive potential and a super age group, super characters and all that. Then I could start thinking about myself again, and that was the outcome. It's not what I want. It's just what I think is 100% right. I respect him. I respect him for his honesty and looking inwardly, and if he can't commit to it, that's understandable. He will only ever leave with our thank you and a legacy that hopefully continues, but will certainly never be forgotten. 9 years of memories that I'm never gonna forget. You're never gonna forget. We'll start to work through and think through all these moments and what our favourites are, and Barcelona and Champions League finals, Champions League victories, the league title, managing the club through the COVID crisis. There's a lot's gone on. Trent is the scouser in the team. He wants to be captain, and VVD is captain. He won't want to leave. He'll want to stay too and win it all. So Jordan Joyce. Yeah, look, I'm not expecting any big departures outside of the uncertainty that we already have with the Salah situation. Benjamin said, I disagree. I don't think Klopp wanted Núñez, and I think that's the problem. City got Haaland established. Klopp got potential. The timing stinks. It makes me angry now. Self-destructive, the club. Well, honestly, Benjamin, outside of Haaland, who was never going to be coming to Liverpool, I feel like we got probably the best other option that was out there, at least potential-wise. So, again, I don't refuse to think it's Núñez, and that's an issue at all. If anything, he was back to the tune of €100 million there. I could absolutely cry, said it's Treston Network. Klopp's the best thing that's happened to our wonderful football club in the last 30 years. We'll have to get Xabi Alonso. You'll never walk alone. Again, just to go back to the post from Ryan Babel, he also was thinking immediately, go Leverkusen, get Xabi Alonso. I mean, I wonder what Leverkusen are thinking right now. As the news broke today about Jurgen, you would immediately think if they didn't already have a concern about the club coming after Alonso, I think they probably will very soon have that concern. I can't believe this is absolutely crazy, said Eddie Cox-Wilkins. Thank you, Eddie. Could you see Pep Lijnders stepping up? No, he's leaving. That's been confirmed, mate. Kravitz and Pep Lijnders are leaving at the end of the season. We've got that confirmation, so it's not that he's stepping up. Is Alonso Liverpool ready, though? Don't know. How can I? How can you? How can any of us? We can have an opinion. We can have a thought process, but he's gone from Sociedad's B team to Leverkusen, doing well there, on for an incredible season with them. Europa League campaign flying, unbeaten in the Bundesliga, 4 or 7 points clear. I can't remember at the moment, at the top, away from Bayern. I mean, I can't think, if I'm going through world football right now, outside of, as you've all said, maybe De Zerbi, maybe certainly Alonso, my list is running short after that of who I'd be genuinely happy with. And it also feels dirty to even sit here thinking about who's next, I don't know if I'm on my own with that one, but it just does feel weird to me and just strange. I don't know what to expect next. It won't be Xavi. If he can't manage Barcelona, I don't want him near Liverpool. Let's be honest. No way. I mean, some of the names in the chat is guesswork as well, of course, but some of them I just think are a little bit far-fetched. People are having the same reactions as when Shankly announced his departure 50 years ago, said Ian Etchells. We did pretty well during the following years onwards. I mean, I wasn't around back then, mate, but you're right. The trophies kept on coming and we got more successful over the coming years. But in that situation you're talking about, we definitely went to the boot room and definitely promoted from within. And there's no way that's happening at the moment. Lijnders isn't going to step up based off what we're seeing today. Look, so I would say drop a like on the stream, but I mean, it feels wrong to ask anyone to do that. But look, if you are joining us on this earth-shattering day, and not in a good way, do hit that subscribe button if you're new into the channel. It's great to be here with you, but I certainly wish it was under better circumstances. This just feels like a death in my family. I'm sure probably feels the same to you guys. Maybe I'm overreacting to some extent, but you know me, I'm never lost for words. Someone said, Craig, read my super chat. I'm trying, mate, but there's a lot of stuff coming through today, and I'm trying to go back to as many comments as I can. Let me get the LFC pundit super chat. 1 second, mate. Let me get down here and I'll read your comment. I'll have to find it a different way. 1 second. Where's the super chat gone? Callum, it's KDS, Jordan, mate. I'm not seeing your super chat. Yeah, hang on. I'm still scrolling back. AFC Max. Chin up, Craig. We're all behind you. I sent a super chat before. Thank you, AFC Max. Who else have I missed? This will take a while to sink in, said Jason Son. It's better not be down to the owner, said Carl. Kahir said, shocked about this bad news. Let's end on a quad. The LFC pundit said, I fear the next coach will break up our team. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from the next coach or the situation. So it's hard to try and guess what will happen when we don't know, I guess, who's going to be next through the door. Eddie Cox Wilkins said, I can't believe this is absolutely happening. It's amazing. It's mental, man. The whole thing is crazy. Klopp needs a statue. Yeah, we move on to talk about all the legacy stuff down the line, but right now we need to just try and figure out what on earth is happening. Craig, I hate seeing the majority of people putting this elsewhere than the club's ownership. Year to year, we've barely been impressed at what happens in the market. Again, I feel like I don't want to be pointing fingers yet because we don't know. I certainly don't like to make accusations until I know a little bit more. And I guess when we hear from Jurgen at 3 o'clock, we're going to know a lot more about this situation, and we're going to know a lot more about how we've ended up here. I've never felt so gutted over something that's not family related, said Get Involved MT. It's going to take me days to process this, said Choppy. I hear you, man. What about Marco Rose? No, nowhere near enough. Like, some of these names you just don't. And maybe I'm just dismissing a lot of them because, again, in my head it's going, nope, not Jurgen Klopp. Not Jurgen Klopp. The only one that, to me, holds any appeal is probably Alonso. And even at that, I'm still thinking he's not going to be Jurgen. Stinks of FSG, Craig. Something's not right, said Dave Connolly. I mean, Dave, I'd be lying to you, pal, if I said I didn't feel the same regarding the last part about something not being right. Definitely stinks to me. You need to watch the live Liverpool vid. Klopp literally talks about everything. Mate, I've got every quote from it. But you say he talks about everything. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered to that he doesn't answer in that. Like, realistically, why not honour your contract? Why sign the contract? Was there a transfer that sparked it? Is there something else coming that we don't know about? Like, is there going to be negative news about, I don't know, Salah's contract situation coming down the line? Is this going to be the catalyst for Mo to kind of look for a new challenge, maybe? Because the manager that's got the best out of him isn't going to be here. So let's have a look at the odds for the next Liverpool manager. Right now, Xabi Alonso is 6-5, so the favourite. De Zerbi 7-1, Pep Linders 10-1, Gerrard 20-1, Nagelsmann 14-1. Then it's Luis Enrique, Ange Postecoglou, and Graham Potter, all kind of long odds, 20-1 and upwards. So the bookies, as far as they're concerned, and I don't know if this has taken account of the news or if these are odds that were already kind of floating around, but Alonso certainly the favourite with the bookies. I'm absolutely gutted, devastated this is happening, said Eddie Cox Wilkins. Craig, let's just hope it's not a health issue. Absolutely, mate. That's certainly one of the first concerns that you'd hope for. Paddy Power have shortened Alonso to evens now. But look, ultimately these are all evolving odds, and it's just going to come down to who puts money on what. Excuse me. It's going to come down to who puts money you know, and that's what the odds will change on. It's not really based off any informed decisions from the bookies at the minute. It's just where the money's going. And clearly, early doors, the money will go on Alonso. But look, I'm hoping that there's more news at 3 o'clock. I'm hoping that there's more clarity given at 3 o'clock. Thank you for saying bless you, mate. Appreciate you. Well, news, any hint as to why he's left, especially when he's doing so well? He talks about energy, SK. You ask, is there a budget conflict with the timing? Honestly, don't know. But he talks about energy, and I understand that. You know, we've always spoke about the fact that this is a very all-encompassing job to be Liverpool manager. So, I mean, we're going to try and bring you some reaction as well. I mean, I've seen Jamie Carragher, some quotes from him that came in early doors, and let's bring you some of those quotes. This one here, hang on a second. From Liverpool Football Club, it said Jurgen Klopp has announced his decision to step down as Liverpool manager at the end of the season, having informed the club's ownership of his wish to leave his position in the summer. So that's change again then. Somebody, I think one of our boys put in the chat earlier on that it was November he told the club. Now they're saying that Jurgen Klopp told them in the summer. So, if Klopp told him in the summer, I still have the same question of why now? Why the week before we play Chelsea and Arsenal in the league? I don't know, why now? Why not just do it at the end of the year or the week before the final game? You know, I don't understand. Because all that's going to happen is this is going to become the distraction for the remainder of the season. You know, I've talked about contract renewals for players becoming distractions. Well, this is going to become an even bigger distraction. Yeah, Alex, I'm not reading that out, mate. It's just silliness. Gutted, mate. Has to be Xabi, said D. Pierce. I think so, mate. And look, that seems to be certainly where the smart money is at the minute. Certainly where the thought process is at the minute. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and gather my thoughts and get some more information, and we will be live at around 3 o'clock again to make sure that we take you through the press conference, the news from Klopp. I'm going to spend the next hour or two trying to figure out exactly what's happening, and we'll go back live again soon. So make sure you do keep your notifications on. Do check in. Do send in any news you get, and I'll be back live as soon as we get a little bit more information, because I got to gather some thoughts. I got to make some phone calls, and I got to find out as much information as I can. So I'll be back live soon. For all of you that's dropped in, keep an eye on. I'm going to get you more videos out. Going to get you more thoughts. Going to get you more information. I got to spend some time now doing the dirty work in the background. So I will be back soon. And do drop a like. Do hit the subscribe button before you head off. And don't worry, we'll keep you up to date and informed on what is going to be a landmark day for the football club, and hopefully we get some more answers later on. So keep in touch, and we will be back live soon.